Hi, my name is Raymond Patrick, and this is a video about. I'm going to be explaining basically the difference between Republicans and Democrats, and it's going to be a little conspiracy like, but if you look into it and do your research, you'll see the facts on it. Um, and a little bit about fascism here too. First of all, the main 11 steps to fascism. One, invoke a threat. That would be false flags, like 9/11. Many people think that the government had nothing to do with it or they had everything to do with it. I happen to believe, and I've happened to do a lot of research, probably since about 2007. There's a lot of connections that are undeniable to not just the government, but to Bush himself. But at the very least, they knew it was going to happen. If I'm not going to get all into that, it'll be another video, but you can't get that far out of the way in an airplane without our Air Force, you know, coming into play and stopping them. Um, I'll get into that in another video. I'm gonna have to write it all down and then basically read it or do some off the top of my head, but you'll understand. And invoking a threat is to you cause a problem in like school shootings. Now I'm not saying Sandy Hook was fake. I have no idea. I've seen a lot of evidence that there were crisis actors involved in it. Um, I don't think that it didn't happen at all, but I think the government took advantage of what happened so they can. Because guess what happened right after that? They took many gun rights away from Americans. They enforced harsher gun laws, and that's for another video. But the fact is that the harsher the gun control, and statistics and facts prove this, the more gun control there is, the worse crime and the worse gun crime there is, because legal citizens are now not holding guns. And people that are going to go out and do it illegally are going to do it illegally anyways. So it makes no sense to enforce gun laws on people that are going to follow the rules anyways. Um, but when you invoke that threat, something happens. They're able to make more laws, like I just said, and they take more rights away from the people. And that I'm going to tie that in with number 11 right there. Disarm the citizen. Who wants to disarm the citizens? Before he came out of office, Barack Obama. And who was going to disarm the citizens? And she said it freely, publicly. Hillary Clinton said she was going to revoke the Second Amendment, which is illegal, but she would have gotten away with it. I guarantee it. She's gotten away with everything as it is. Establish secret prisons. Yes, FEMA camps are actually prisons. They're not in secret, but initially they are secret prisons because they call them something else. If you do your research on it, you will see that they are absolutely prisons. And if you listen to what the people that work there say and the military says, they will tell you that yes, these are absolutely prisons. They're actually concentration camps. Maybe not in the sense completely of what Hitler used, but they can be turned into that. And basically, it's just semantics if you try arguing against that. Um, Develop a paramilitary force. Who was the president that said we need our police to look and be armed just like our military? Barack Obama. What in the hell would we want a police force who is already, which I don't believe that they're all racist or anything, but according to Barack Obama and many people, they're all racists and they all abuse their power. So why the hell would you want them to be powered like our military force? They wouldn't. It's to protect the elite from when they start enforcing more laws to take us down so we can't have a revolution, which is constitutionally legal to have a revolution to replace government and to change it and reform it. For surveil ordinary citizens, we know that's happening big time. I can be surveilled when my computer is off. Can come right through the camera. They can watch me. Look into Snowden's stuff. That's what he. That's why he left and what he reported on. Um, Infiltrate citizens groups. They've been doing that like crazy. For instance, the militias, who are 99% good people, who are they're just there to be a secondary help when storms happen, and obviously there to protect from a tyrannical government. Well, the feds in that have been infiltrating these groups and tearing them apart because they could now call them domestic terrorists when that is not true. Um, Arbitrarily detained citizens. Barack Obama made the law that a citizen can be permanently locked up with no trial, no evidence, no nothing. Target key individuals. Uh, as you know, you see it happening all the time, especially with all the new technology. Restrict the press. Now, yeah, I know everybody thinks Trump's restricting the press. He doesn't want CNN at the things, but that's because they're outright telling lies. And he's not restricting them. He's not stopping them from reporting the news. He's just not letting. It's not criticism. They're saying awful, terrible things about him that are lies, and they have no evidence for. Um, if anything, Barack Obama had Andrew Breitbart killed. And if it wasn't him directly, it was somebody that did it in his interests. Whether he ordered it or whether he knew about it or not, I'm sure he did, but, um, you know, Breitbart had videos that would have definitely, he said, would have stopped, and he was a bright guy, very smart, would have stopped Barack Obama from becoming president again. Because he was palling around with communist leaders, and he had said some pretty things that would have been pretty damning evidence that the people would have said, "Whoa, this guy does not belong in power." Um, and what happened was, he at 43 years old, his heart, I think 43, don't quote me on that, somewhere around 43, his heart exploded. That usually doesn't happen to people that young. And when the coroner said he was poisoned, what do you know, later that day, his heart exploded. And they were both cremated and buried, done and over with. And, well, buried, but the whole thing was done with just like that. Not adhering to the laws of how these things are supposed to be done. When it comes to the death of somebody with all the proper procedures. They were not done properly, and it was done, covered up. Goodbye. Cast dissent as treason. Look what they're doing to InfoWars right now. Because they report a lot of truth, regardless of what you think of Alex Jones. Look what they're doing. They're now saying he's a Russian operative. This guy's been doing conspiracy theories and stuff for God knows how long, maybe 20 years as far as I know, maybe longer. But yeah, and now all of a sudden he's a Russian agent. The guy's worth $11 million. What's he need money from Russia for? Subvert the rule of law. We've already talked about that, and Obama's actually made statements about how he didn't want to act with Congress. And we went over disarm the citizen. My next video, I will get into Democrats and Republicans. Thank you.